We are honored to have joining us Kaycee Anderson of Houston, Texas. She is the widow of Lieutenant Colonel Michael Anderson and his daughter, Kaycee Anderson of Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you for having us.
How did you enjoy being the Grand Marshals in the parade?
It was such an honor. Seeing everybody come out in that warm welcome, it was amazing.
It was just overwhelming, the number of people that came out. It was so good to be able to just look people in the eye and connect with them. And it was overwhelming when they clapped for us, and it was very humbling, but we certainly appreciate the warm welcome. And for me, it's a welcome back, so it was nice to be here and reconnect with the community.
And we were welcoming several members of your family. Who came from your family?
Well, first of all, my two daughters, Kaycee and Sydney, and then my sister-in-law, which was Michael's sister, Brenda, and his great-nephew, Julius Jr.
What are your thoughts on the mural that inspired these recent celebrations?
Oh, wow, that mural is just amazing. It really looks like Michael captured his essence and his smile. And I hope that it kind of conveys to them his calm nature and his love for what he was doing. I mean, for me, when I looked at that, Brendan captured all of that in that one shot. And then with the background of space in the shuttle, he was just, it was phenomenal to see that mural and see what a wonderful job he had done.
It's a striking image. So did you ever anticipate that there would be a mural in Plattsburgh, New York, honoring Michael?
Actually, no. You know, when he first got selected, the town was very honoring. I mean, everybody, you know, there were several interviews and everybody was so nice to us and so proud of Michael. And but, you know, never in a million years, here we are, how many years later, and we're painting a mural of him. I just thought that was just such an honor.
And Kaycee, when you first heard about this mural project, what went through your mind?
I was completely excited about it. I've always heard stories from Mom about them living here and what that was like, and it's always kind of been a mission of mine to get back here and visit. So when I heard about the mural, I was like, this is my chance. When that goes up, I need to be there to see it in person, and it was everything that I hoped it would be.
And during your visit to Plattsburgh, what's moved you the most?
Well, a couple of things. You know, first of all, during the ceremony, the mayor, his remarks, and you know, we never expected to get a key to Plattsburgh. How wonderful that was, and that was very moving, and his remarks were very touching. And then, again, on the parade route, seeing just all the faces and all the turnout and the wonderful things people have said to us, and the way the town has honored Michael. That's just really moving. And one more thing, too, just having my daughters up here, because they have heard a lot of stories of Plattsburgh, and it's someplace I have really wanted to bring them, and so that they could see where actually their dad was born, and then Kaycee was born up here, and we spent several years up here on the base, and it was just a wonderful time. So I've always wanted to bring them back up here, and the mural was the motivation and the impetus for us to get back up here.
Yeah, it just makes your visit to Plattsburgh mean so much more that there's all of this honor for Michael right now.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the ceremony at the mural?
The ceremony was really moving. Seeing people come out to just welcome and support our family was awesome. I've never quite experienced anything like it. And I've always felt a connection here because I was born here and my dad was born here, and that was something we shared. And he flew the KC-135s here, and that's where I got my name, from those airplanes. So to be in this place and share all of that and have people who knew him come up and talk to us and see it all, it was amazing. I loved it.
You know, it was fantastic to find that there were so many veterans and people that worked on the base that had met Michael that I kind of didn't remember, but they had a working relationship with Michael, and they came up and told us their stories of how they met him, and even children of people that worked here that knew Michael. That was just awesome to meet them and to hear their stories, and like Kaycee said, to see how they supported our family was awesome.
He really had an impact on this community. He really affected us. How did you enjoy the Plattsburgh State Gospel Choir?
Oh, I loved it. You know what? Michael and I grew up in an African American Baptist church. You know, that was our roots. So we were rooted in gospel music. So to have them come and sing and to know there was a gospel choir here in Plattsburgh, that was really exciting, and it was really moving to have them sing and hear their numbers and the songs that they sing.
You should be a witness. You should be a witness.
Well, Michael was born in Plattsburgh in 1959. His father serviced jets at the Plattsburgh Air Force Base. But why did Michael move back to Plattsburgh as an adult in the early 90s?
Michael was actually stationed here in the early 1990s. We came from Michigan, and that was where he was, assigned. So we were amazed because his dad had lived here, and their family had lived here, and he was born here, and to know that we were coming back to Plattsburgh was very interesting. So we were kind of excited about that.
How was life in Plattsburgh for the two of you?
You know what? We really enjoyed our time in Plattsburgh. I had young children. Like I said, Kaycee was born here at the time we moved. Sydney was only one, and it was an adventure. Michael was flying tankers, and so we got to know a lot of our neighbors. You know, when you're a military community, you get to know people fast. When your husbands are flying and they're on alert, you get to know all the other wives. So we had a good time, and we formed good friendships, some of which we've kept up with over the years. So that's been great, and the area is beautiful. I can just remember us driving around the lake and doing things with the kids when they were little, like picking apples in Peru and going to some of the country stores around the lake and just seeing all the beautiful scenery. I came from the Pacific Northwest, and I thought, wow, nothing's more pretty than here, until I got to New York and upstate New York and in Plattsburgh, and we were driving around the mountains, and especially in the fall, the beauty is just uncomparable.
Now, you, Kaycee, you don't have many memories of Plattsburgh.
No, I was born here, but Dad was accepted into the astronaut program, and so we ended up going to Houston, and so I was 1.5 about when we moved.
So he was accepted into the astronaut program. What did that mean to Michael?
Oh man, it meant everything. He had, this is something he had strived for and thought about from a young age. In fact, it's funny because I knew that, as a joke when we were dating. I gave him, remember when the Cabbage Patch dolls were out? I gave him an astronaut Cabbage Patch doll, never really imagining that dream would come to fruition, but it actually did, and he'd been methodically pursuing it the whole time and looking at careers and how other people did it and got in the program, and he applied, and when he accepted, it was a big deal. It was just huge for him. It was one of his dreams.
And in that career, what do you think was his proudest moment?
He was proud to have been selected because there were very few African American astronauts. So that was, he was proud of that. But he was a pilot. He trained to be a pilot, but Michael liked the sciences. So when he got selected as the payload commander on STS-107, that was super exciting for him, and he was very happy about that selection and wanted to do a great job. So, and I think maybe that was something that he really, really was proud of. The scientific part of it, the research part of it, and him being a part of that, and something bigger that would contribute to, the welfare of everybody on the planet, in hopes that, they would pull out a lot of information that would, just help us all.
As a kid, just growing up, I thought his job was the coolest thing ever. I was excited. I would have him come to my school and do talks and the science of it all. I used to think he would go to the moon and bring me back cheese. But being an adult and looking back and hearing stories about his work ethic and just seeing what he went through to get to his dream, I carry that with me every day. Going through school, I used to think, well, how would Dad approach this? Like, I have to study hard because that's what he did, and he achieved his dream. So applying that work ethic and that drive that he had to my own personal life, and knowing that he's been a role model, I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why he was an amazing person to know.